when the issues get hotter and the subject matter of the controversy is very important, as in this case. So there are things that may happen in a regular proceeding, just like in this case, na pwedeng mangyari, gaya nung kanina. It's natural. Sa akin po, with all the years, yung humble experience natin, no, sa trial, for over a decade, mas malubha pa dyan nangyari. Because sometimes friction happens between or among litigators from either side. No?
Pero yung po bang testigo ay allowed na bulungan or paalalahanan, sabi nga ni Ombudsman, nire-remind lang daw po siya.
Actually,
or dapat
she was
po
not
siya
being coached. I saw and observed the trial. Hindi naman ganon. Because of the voluminous documents that she was asked to produce and to testify on, she had to be assisted by her staff. And that is natural or normal in such an instance. So, medyo hindi naman siguro tama if we criticize her. The Ombudsman is a very intelligent witness. She's brilliant. She knows her job. She knows what she's talking about. And I don't think so anyone could coach her on what she would utter before the impeachment court.
If I may use the term, talagang naging power presentation itong pinakita nila ngayon with Ombudsman Morales and Heidi Mendoza. Sa tingin niyo po ba may plus factor si Heidi Mendoza as part of the team that created this report?
Actually, si Heidi Mendoza, you may have heard the ruling, is not a witness. So her testimony or any statements that she may have uttered yesterday were stricken off the record. So tinanggal po yun doon. Because tama yung ruling. She's not a witness, and so she could not testify or continue the testimony of the witness. So, yung participation ng COA dito, I think from the institutional point of view, and given the power of the Ombudsman to seek assistance from government agencies, tama lang po yun. It's not the personality of Heidi Mendoza that matters here. It is the assistance given by COA. Because the Ombudsman, under the Ombudsman law, has that power to ask any government agency to render technical assistance, as in this case. So yun po ang ginawa ng ating witness. And there's nothing wrong about it.
Attorney Luna, balikan po natin itong power presentation nga.
PowerPoint presentation.
Sabi rin naman ni Justice Cuevas, power representation. Pero ito po, meron pong mga minention na significant dates itong si Ombudsman Morales. And pero po sa ordinaryong observer tulad ko, ito pong analysis po kasi may taong gumawa nito. And this can be subjective. We can, the one making the analysis is the one giving meaning to these dates which she thinks or he thinks is significant. Ano po yung masasabi nyo tungkol doon?
Para sa akin, no, to say that it's totally objective or there are signs of subjectivity dito is not looking at it from a holistic point of view. You must bear in mind that there are many forms of analysis at inexplain po ng ating witness that they use a certain method dito sa analysis. So inexplain naman po ng ating witness kung anong klaseng sistema ang ginamit nila or approach. And so the best evidence, yung report itself, the analysis itself is the best evidence, regardless as to kung sino ang nag-prepare ng report. To me, it does not matter really kung sino nag-prepare. It is the merit, it is the significance, it is the correctness or accuracy of the methodology and the outputs ng analysis. Yun ang importante po.
Carl, matanong kita, yun nga, sa mata ng publiko ba na, di ba, ginamit ang mga petsang 2004, 2007 at yung araw na na-impeach si Chief Justice, is there an intention sa tingin mo para sa mga tao to mislead or to construe something out of the whole data that was supposed to be presented?
Talaga pong kahinahinala po naman talaga, even if I don't have any background on accounting or law, parang bakit on certain dates na crucial, alam naman natin na pag-election maraming perang umiikot for certain things, good or bad. Nung impeachment, alam naman natin na may consequences yung impeachment na nangyari. So bakit sobrang daming pera yung lumabas or na linipat or whatever? At even the sheer volume lang yung nung money involved nakakahinala. Tapos kung minsan pa may transactions na dineposit same day, withdraw the same day, bakit kaya? Parang siguro may dahilan, hindi natin alam kasi sana nga mag-testify si Chief Justice, pero bakit? Yun yung tanong eh. Maraming nagtatanong kung bakit.
Okay, Attorney Luna, ito po, meron din po tayong kopya nitong report mula sa AMLA. Medyo mahaba-haba po ito at
I
puro...
think everybody is interested in that report.
At puro numero po ito. Pero para po sa inyo na nakakita na nito, ano po ba yung mga mahahalagang ipinapakita nitong report na ito?
Well, it shows the not only the number but also the amounts of the transactions involved. To me, that's very significant. Kasi po, ang isa sa mga articles that was filed by the House of Representatives against the respondent here is yung non-disclosure po ng kanyang assets, liabilities, business interests, and the like. So, ito po ang pinaka-importante dito. Those data there really matter so much. But of course, gaya ng sinasabi ko always, the trial is not yet over. Hindi pa po tapos. Because the other side, the respondent still enjoys the presumption of innocence, no? It's still their turn, hindi pa sila tapos. So, we are not concluding anything. However, from the point of view of the prosecution, we feel and we think that that evidence is really very, very important and damaging. Damaging. Of course, it supports, it confirms what we have been saying all along, that there was really non-disclosure, inaccuracy sa kanyang SALN and kanyang assets.
Sabi niyo po, it confirms what you've been saying all along. Pero ang sinasabi po ng defense, hindi niyo naman yan nilagay dun sa complaint. It was not alleged in the complaint. So, paano po ba ito lulusutan ng depensa?
It's alleged in Article 2. Alleged po yan, unreported assets. So, that falls under that category. In fact, nagkaroon ng TRO sought by a bank which prevented the prosecution from presenting evidence dyan sa dollar accounts. Kung sa tingin nyo na hindi yan kasama doon sa mga charges na pinail laban sa respondent, why was there a need for a TRO galing sa Supreme Court?
Pero wala daw po ito sa ebidensya na binigay ng prosecution or gustong ipaglaban ng prosecution at sinasabi ng depensa, hindi siya kasama.
The amount was not mentioned dito sa dollar. Yung amount ang hindi na-mention. But the charge is there. If you read Article 2, it's there. Pero yung amount, to us, the amount does not really matter so much. It is the issue of failure to disclose yung tunay na assets.
So kahit $1,
Kahit 1 peso, $1, to us, the amount is immaterial.
Para daw po sa prosecution, Carla, hindi masyadong mahalaga yung amount. Pero ikaw nakita mo, siguro nabasa mo sa dyaryo itong mga amount na lumabas. Anong masasabi mo? Anong reaction mo?
Nakakalula po na ang dami-daming pera, ang laki-laki ng pera na involved sa mga transactions po na, at may narinig nga ako, siguro nga tama si Chief Justice Corona kasi nag-release siya ng statement na there is no $10 million account. Tama ka siya, walang $10 million account, pero there are 82 accounts amounting to so many more millions of dollars. So parang nakakalula lang, how can a guy na sabi nga niya, frugal, although sinasabi naman niya mayaman daw siya dati, pero parang ang dami naman, masyadong daming perang involved, lalo na in certain crucial events in our history, parang ang daming transactions involved. So nakakalula, maraming kailangan ipaliwanag. The more, tama po si attorney, the more na kailangan niya magpaliwanag himself.
Siguro tanong natin ito, what's a good defense to this? Kasi sinabi ni Chief Justice kapag hindi talaga, wala, zero, not mine.
I cannot